We were streaming all the biggest music events in the world. We had Justin Bieber, to Bruce Springsteen, to Metallica, to Taylor Swift, and then COVID hits, right? And everything shut down. We've grown the business from 38 million when COVID hit. This year is going to be about $150 million plus. So I just announced one of the biggest deals in the history of the company.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Founder's Story. Today we have Rob Ellin, who is the CEO and founder of LiveOne. They've been revolutionizing the digital entertainment and live streaming space since 2015. Rob, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
I mean, that's amazing. You're almost 10 years. You've been doing the digital entertainment and the live streaming. How does that feel getting to that 10-year mark?
Yeah, I mean, I've been in the convergence of media and technology for the better part of 35 years, right? In this company, yeah, we saw this light, this unique light that I bought a music venue called Coco's in London, and we streamed a television called London Live, and it reached 70 countries and 300 million people. I said, imagine if you could do that from one venue with 1,600 people, right? What you could reach globally. And that was across cable and satellite. So you had to convince different languages, different cable operators. So if you could do it across the internet, you can reach the entire world. And yeah, part of this exciting part of this was this big social message, right? Which was unifying the world around live music. And if you attend these live music events, right, whether it's in Rio, whether it's in Japan, whether it's in China, it's an amazing thing during the actual music event. Right? There is no racism. There is no anti-Semitism, right? When you leave, people go back to their habitual behavior. So we felt that big social message, right? Alongside of this massive TAM for how big music is growing was a great combination of both social as well as building a business.
Yeah, that's amazing. The feeling that you get when you go to these concerts, when you're around these people, it really does bring people together. But let's talk about you, Rob. What was the spark that made you say, I want to be an entrepreneur?
So I didn't have a lot of choices. I was dyslexic as a kid and had ADD as a kid. So school was a little confusing, to say the least. So when my older brother Howard, who now heads up M&A at Skadden Arps, when he got into Harvard with a 48, I said, I'm not going to let this guy 2 years older than me get ahead of me. I better go to work. So I started working, and I went to work at LF Rothschild, and I started in the institutional sales side of it, and learning on it. And part of Wall Street, the beauty of Wall Street is, in stocks is, you see every industry. And the first thing I saw was the convergence of media and technology. As soon as I saw that combination, it seemed so powerful together that was the trigger point to me, starting from the institutional side, but then eventually being a merchant banker and then starting my own companies.
So did you find it really helpful that you were able to work in, let's say, a corporate environment, gain some skills, and then translate those skills, or even maybe find problems that need to be solved? Some people, they say, oh, I never had a job. I'm always an entrepreneur. I'm always a small business owner. I'm the proponent of, you get a job, you work in different environments. Those will give you translated skills. How do you feel about that?
I think the combination of Wall Street. So after LF Rothschild, I went to a firm called Lombard Securities, and the founder was a Goldman Sachs partner and the chairman of Flying Tiger. So he understood both Wall Street as well as operating a business, and that was a great education. And then fortunately, I did some financing and some merchant banking for Jack Friedman, who started THQ, and then Jack Pacific, still one of the largest toy companies in the world, from really early stages. And you saw that entrepreneurial itch and the fun and energy around it and the excitement of building what I call as a family, right? We describe our team as a family. We treat our team as a family. And because we do that, it literally becomes so much fun to go to work every day.
That's amazing. You get more done when you have fun at work, when you have a good environment and culture. So LiveOne has just been expanding incredibly, and the growth has been exponential. How is it when you're going from $1 million to 10 to 50 to 100 million in revenue as a founder, as a CEO? What's that process like?
Well, first of all, the first thing is it's a tremendous amount of work, right? Early stage companies, and especially when you go public early, you're going to go through public venture capital, right? And we've gone through some really hard times, right? Yeah, we were exploding, literally exploding. We were streaming all the biggest music events in the world. We had every artist you can dream of, from Justin Bieber to Bruce Springsteen to Metallica to Taylor Swift, all on our platform and all promoting our platform and telling their fans come watch on Live One. And then COVID hits, right? And everything's shut down. I have these wonderful partnerships with AEG and Live Nation and iHeart, right? I'm streaming events almost on a daily basis. It's all shut down. So you got to take that all in and you got to go, okay, you got to get back into the bunkers. You got to make some changes and you got to refocus the business. And I couldn't be more proud of my team, right? Somehow we've grown the business from 38 million when COVID hit, losing all the live business. We grew it to this year is going to be about $150 million plus. So it's a great experience and it's a great time doing it.
That's incredible. I mean, talk about, the ups and downs of business. People, many times they talk about the good things or the good times. They don't talk about there's so many challenges that we face. So how do you handle, your mental health or the mental state when you have these ups, downs, highs, lows? You have so many things going on. Sometimes you don't get a lot of sleep. Sometimes things come your way and you have to, react quickly. What do you do? Is there something that you do, or how do you stay, clear-headed?
Well, I think the first thing is we outwork, right? The first thing I teach my team and anyone you ever ask on my team will tell you I outwork everybody in my own organization. All right. So I think I told you when we started this, this morning was starting in Europe at 4:00 in the morning because we're in LA. Started really early and it goes late. So tonight we have bankers in for dinner. And so I outwork my competitors. All right. That's my number one skill. Right. My number two skill is I care that much. I really love what we're building. Right. Imagine you get the opportunity to build a music subscription platform that Spotify just said is going to be just on their platform. It's going to be 1 billion subscribers. Right. What I've told the street and what I've told the world is that I'm going to get to 10 million subscribers. And at 10 million subscribers, it's a tiny percentage of the overall market, but it's a very unique percentage because of the moat that we built and the flywheel we built. You'll be at $1 billion plus in revenues. So we're really excited about where we're going. The second part to know is we have 2 jobs every day, right? When you're running a public company, even if your business is doing great, that doesn't mean your stock's doing great. And even if your stock's doing great, it doesn't mean your business is doing great. So every day we got to outwork everyone on both sides of it. And so we got a lot of work to do, but it's been pretty exciting. The stock is starting to move finally. It's starting to grow alongside of the business. And what I've always found in all my companies, we have these great runs as a story stock. We have great runs as a growth stock. You can have ups and downs. But when you start to hit as a value stock and you start to break that $100 million mark cleanly, and really most of the revenues we're talking about for next year are really recurring revenues. It's almost guaranteed that 130 out of that 150 plus is already is already baked for this year coming up. And that's April 1st, right? Our year ends March 31st, right? This is that exciting time where you really have the opportunity to step on the gas. You can take some risks, right? And you can go a little bit for what I articulate as the jugular to really take this business to $250 million to $1 billion in revenues. I feel great about it right now. I mean, really great about it.
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, it sounds like Live One has so many incredible things coming up. Talking about the excitement around this live and the concerts, I saw Taylor Swift, breaking records with how much revenue that they're making from live tours and all these other artists. So what do you see in terms of the future of concerts, tours? I don't know if it's, digital ways or people can access it from all around the world or different experiences. What do you see in terms of live experiences when it comes to music?
I think all of us after going through, and I probably was naive when COVID hit. I never believed it was going to last more than 3 months or 4 months, right? Maybe it's just my mentality that, the glass is always 75 to 100% full, right? People articulate it both ways. So I never believed it was going to last. And to think that 3 years we were shut down, right? It's kind of amazing. And I think that people have woken up. There'll never be a day that anybody's thinking about only being at home again. So the pleasures of going to live music is amazing. There's so much great talent out there, and there's so many great different genres of music out there, right? It's like you look at what's playing in the Hollywood Bowl. Like I can't wait for I'll be at least 10 to 12 events this year at Hollywood Bowl, and they cross over every single genre. So it's just going to grow and grow and grow. And just like you're watching in sports, that phenomenon that has always been that big, COVID has only made it bigger. But the exciting part is that the digital side in music is just beginning. right? This is the beginning of the digital side of music, where sports started 40 years ago when ESPN was first created. Everyone said, oh my God, they're going to shut down the stadiums and no one's going to go, right? What happened? More teams, trillions of dollars created in value, right? The same thing is happening in music now, and it's just going to continue to grow on both sides of it.
That's so amazing. And the fact that people now can become a musician or artist just by using social on their own. They don't even need studios. They don't need labels. The fact that you can do that and then create momentum, do concerts. I mean, this is an incredible time, and it's an amazing time for Live One. So, Rob, if people want to get in touch with you, they want to learn more about the company, how can they do so?
Sure. So we're a public company. The symbol is LVO. My email is rob@liveone.com. I'm easy to find. I'm also probably one of the few CEOs that truly understands every shareholder from 100 shares to 10 million shares, like Fidelity, who's our largest shareholder, is critical to us, right? It's a very difficult micro-cap market. It's been now 3 years of that. We'll finally see some signs of light here, but this is an important time for our company, that as we grow this big, we also have to make sure that our stock performs at the same levels and make sure that someone doesn't try to come by us. We just hired JP Morgan as our bankers, right? Both on an offensive basis as well as defensive, because our competitors now are trading at like 3 times revenues again. We're trading at 1 times revenues. So we're trading well below our peers, right? And we've got amazing partnerships with Elon Musk and Tesla, with the default radio in every single Tesla car. Every car that hits the road, I woke up this morning, 7,600 new cars. So for an average of 7 years, right, at over $3 a month, and we're the lowest price in the industry by almost a third, right? We're almost 1/3 of the price of our competitors, but with great margins, with 33% margins. So we have great partners. We just announced one of the biggest deals in the history of the company. We just announced a streaming deal for over $20 million. It's the first in the history of this company. And we said there's 50 more B2B deals. And for anyone who knows my background from my last company, Digital Turbine, I built it with partnerships with 58 carriers and multiple hardware companies. Because we're audio and video, there's 8 verticals that we can reach here that are billion to multi-trillion-dollar companies that all could be our partners and could all help us get to that 10 million plus subscribers. Maybe I'm very low. Maybe that 10 million will be closer to 100 million over the next 5 years. So this is the most exciting time in the company, and we got a great team. We got a great board. This combined team has built over $100 billion of media and technology companies. And I could tell you, most of those board members, you can call them directly, think this has the biggest upside of anything we've ever been involved in.
Wow, Rob, sounds super exciting. Thank you so much for sharing your wealth of knowledge and your experiences today on Founders Story.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time.